The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League. On this special episode of the Panthers Huddle, the culture has changed in the Carolinas. Hosts Kristin, Balboni, and Thomas Davis look back at a pivotal season and look ahead to what's next for the Carolina Panthers. Plus, Dan Morgan joins us in studio to talk about a dynamic rookie class and the process of scouting the next one. Welcome inside the Panthers Huddle.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us inside the Panthers Huddle. We have got a great show for you. Alongside Thomas Davis, I'm Kristin Balboni. But first, TD, this is our first show back since the playoff game.
Yes. Not
the outcome that Panthers fans wanted, of course, but talk to me about being in this stadium with that playoff atmosphere. It was electric.
KB, the last time that I had that opportunity to be in a stadium, in this stadium, with that fan base excited, I was on the field as a player. But to feel the energy off the field, like just being in that environment, the energy, the buzz that this city had, it was so phenomenal. And I hope that the players that were on the field got a great taste of what that felt like, so they'll go into the offseason with that on their mind, getting ready to just reignite that charge to come back and make another run next year. But, you know, having Cam Newton in the building, as you see him pounding the drum right now, you see the energy that he brought. Man, it was so electric, man, to have all the former guys that we have there to be able to celebrate that moment with him. It was truly special, KB.
And the little birdie told me that we have you to thank for helping to set that up with your good buddy Cam. It was just amazing to see you and to see all the veterans come together. And like we said, what an incredible fan base, what an incredible night for this franchise. So, you know, we get that playoff game, win the NFC South, and TD, I'm wondering then what you make of the 2026 season. What is this team capable of as they continue to build?
KB, the sky's the limit. You know, now, you know, we turn our page to free agency to see what we're going to be able to do in free agency. And if, you know, history holds true with Dan Morgan, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to go out.
Yeah.
He's going to bring some dogs in that's going to help this football team. As we saw this year, the guys that he brought in, some of them went down with injury, but most of those guys that we brought in through free agency and the draft definitely contributed to this team in a big way. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing what Dan is going to do in free agency, and with its draft. It's going to be a special time for this city as we continue to grow this football team.
Yeah, and we're going to be getting the lowdown from Dan Morgan in just a few minutes. But first of all, we know and you know that we have one of the best media teams in the NFL. So right now, you can enjoy some of the best moments of this season courtesy of our amazing media staff. Take a look at this.
The Carolina Panthers a week away from opening up their season in what hopes to be a breakout year for Bryce Young.
We're always going to be competing and contending, and this season is no different. I think the possibilities of the season, they're endless. We're going to write our own story here, and how we write that depends on what we do out on the practice field every day, what we do off the field. We're going to have to earn everything.
A stadium comes to life. This crowd has this intoxicating, narcotic blend of belief. Here we go, boys! Time to roll! Let's go, baby! Yay! We got it!
Be your brother's keeper! Be your brother's keeper! Right here, starting today! Right now, believe that shit! Believe it! I'm bringing it tight! I want you to hear this shit! They ain't never seen this shit for 60 minutes! Let's throw these up! Let's do our job for 60 minutes! They don't get going unless we get going on this side. Do the fucking juice right now, dog! Easy to change! Do this together! Come on, family on 3, 1, 2, 3!
Grenade! Reset!
Rolls and he finds McMillan. Breaks it back to 30, 35, 40. Dominic Brown makes the catch. Caught by Jimmy Horn. Mitchell Evans. McMillan. Rico. Hover. Bryce Young. Into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown. Gives Carolina the lead.
What can we do to change this game? What can we do to change this game? This is a special group right here. Let's do it. One on one any other way.
Here we go. Let's go, boys. One more shot. One more chance. One more chance.
Great job, D. Great job. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, my boy. Great job, D. Yes, sir.
Intercepted by J.C. Horn.
Let's go!
That's how you do that, boy! Pat Jones gets to the backfield. He's got the 10, he's got the 5, dives toward the end zone, touchdown! And the Panthers win it! Ryan Fitzgerald, the game-winning field goal!
Keep building, take the lessons to heart. Let's keep moving our football forward. This is a beautiful win, guys. And it all happened right here, staying together regardless of what happened. I love you guys. I'm proud of this group right here.
Charlotte and the Carolinas, you've got a lot to be proud of. More than anything, today felt not like an ending, but as a beginning.
It's just fun to see this team continue to grow.
Let's go, man. Keep pounding, man. Keep pounding.
I'm so proud of this group. I'm so proud to be a Panther. Like you said, the resiliency speaks for itself. You know, we just know how to come back and refocus. I wouldn't want to go to war with any other team.
Coming up, Dan Morgan joins Kristin and TD in the studio before scouting the next rookie class on the Panthers Huddle. This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers television network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
Welcome back to the Huddle. TD and I are now joined by Panthers General Manager Dan Morgan. And Dan, we got to start with this season as a whole. Your second year as GM, and you see the Panthers win the NFC South and host a playoff game. Can you just talk to me about your emotions with the way this season ended?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was an exciting season. I think we made strides as a team and kind of changed the culture around here. So I definitely feel good about the direction that we're headed. And hey, that's going to be the goal every season, is to get a home playoff game here. We know that winning the division and, you know, going through the NFC South, that's like our best pathway to get to where we want to go, which is ultimately a Super Bowl. So yeah, we're definitely headed in the right direction, and we're excited.
Seeing the energy level and the excitement from this fan base in that stadium while we hosted that playoff game, what was that moment like for you as the general manager, sitting there watching, you know, your product that you had put together start to come to fruition?
Yeah, I think obviously, like being in the playoffs in 2003, you know, seeing the fans and the excitement around the city, we want that every single year, and to be up there and see the fans and the crowd, just like so much excitement build up around the stadium before the game, and then during the game, it gave me chills. You know, I said that in my press conference that I had chills just like looking at the fans and seeing the excitement, and that's what we want to bring here every single year, is home playoff game. We want it to go through Charlotte, and we want to build a winner around here, and not only a winner, but a consistent winner. We don't want to be a one and done type team. We want to build a team that can be consistent and dominant.
Speaking of building a team, what you and the front office have done in the last 2 years is something certainly that we talk about all the time, the incredible job. So in your mind, what does free agency look like this year?
Yeah, I think free agency, you know, I think as we look at our draft board and we see where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, we'll be able to develop a little better plan from a free agent perspective. But you always want to, you know, go into free agency and, you know, sign a couple guys and add some depth. That way you can go into the draft and you can feel good about drafting the best player available. So that's always our philosophy here. So, you know, we'll attack free agency and we'll attack the draft and build depth and get better as a team.
Have you identified what specific areas you really want to build around, or is it just getting as much depth as possible?
Yeah, I think it's just about getting impact players in here. I think, you know, it's not about a certain position. So, as you go into the draft, you want to be able to draft the best player available, impact player, guys that can help you out, because you never know where injuries are going to happen. You always feel like you need to fill certain holes, but an injury could happen and all of a sudden you have another hole. So we have to draft best players, we have to draft impact players and guys that can help us moving forward.
I know, you just kind of answered this question, but in the last couple of years, it seems like the linebacker position has been one that we have been hit hard with injury with, and it just seems like there's been sort of a drop-off from top to bottom. Is that one of the positions that you feel like that we're really going to take a deep dive and a harder look at in free agency, or would you look to more get a younger guy in the draft?
I think it might be a combination to where we go free agency and maybe in the draft as well. We have to build up depth there, to your point, like getting injuries at that position and, there being, a pretty big drop off.
Right.
That's a really important position for us. It's the guy that stands in front of the huddle and demands that respect. And, we definitely, that's an area we feel like we need to improve upon. And, we're going to attack it just like we attack needs every year.
How much focus do you guys place on speed and agility when it comes to certain positions? Like I feel like we've gotten a lot faster as a football team across the board. Is there something that you really locked in and focused in on when it came to speed?
I think that's an area I do feel like we do have to continue to get better at. I think the more speed you can put on the field, the more playmakers you can put on the field, then you set yourself up better for success moving forward. So when we're watching the tape, whatever position it is, wide out, linebacker, safety, you can go down the list. Like, we're looking for guys that play fast, play physical, are tough, and obviously smart guys as well. So we're looking for all those type of things, and also guys that just love football, guys that are passionate about what they do.
And Dan, when it comes to free agency, you talked about building this culture and what we've been able to see over the past 2 years. Do you find that it's going to be an easier conversation, an easier sell about coming to Carolina as you start to talk with these free agents?
Yeah, I think, any free agent, I think, will tell you they want to go to a place that has a good culture. They want to win. All these free agents want to win. Obviously, they want to get paid, but it also really depends on location and culture of a team. And, I think Charlotte is a great place to live, whether you're single, whether you have a family. I think it's really good. So yeah, I think this is definitely a spot that I think is going to become a destination with Coach Canales and his staff developing players and getting players better, and the culture that he creates on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's definitely going to be easier for us, but I know as well as everybody knows that money talks. But at the same time, I think that we've really established a culture here of winning. We're headed in the right direction. I think players take notice of that, and I think that they're going to be excited to come here.
I have one more before we let you go. We got to talk about Tetairoa McMillan, because that pick was a surprise pick for many, not TD, but it was a surprise pick for many who thought you were going to go defense in last year's first round. I mean, he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year, we believe, right? And he should be.
He should be.
Yes, he should be. How did he match or exceed your expectations for his first year?
I'll say the thing about T-Mac is, like, he's earned everything. The way that he comes into the building on a day-to-day basis, the way that he attacks practice, just who he is as a person. He's quiet, but don't take that for not being competitive. He's super competitive out there on the field every day, and he's earned everything. So I think he should win Rookie of the Year, not only because of the player he is, but what he does on a day-to-day basis that people don't get to see from the outside. I think that's really set him up for success moving forward.
Dan, we appreciate your time. We're going to let you go back and do your real job, get ready for free agency and the draft, but thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Up next, step inside TD's film room, where Thomas Davis and Kristin Balboni break down some of our best plays from this past season on the Panthers Huddle. Closed captioning for the Panthers Television Network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
Welcome inside TD's Film Room. TD, this is going to be fun because we are going through some of your best plays of the season. And we are starting with what you called earlier this year the most pivotal play of the Panthers season. So it was in the Miami game. Panthers were 1-3 coming into this one, down 17-0 right here. And then there's just this gutsy call on 4th down.
Listen, Coach Canales made an aggressive call. He saw the game kind of slipping away from us. And at midfield, it is extremely gutsy to make this call in that position. And it didn't play out perfectly. Bryce had to improvise. We're going to jump right in. I don't want to keep talking too much about the play, but as you can see right now, we can stop this play. Bryce, under duress, under pressure, he gets flushed out of the pocket. And in this situation right now, this right here showed me, KB, just how much T-Mac has grown up at this point so early in the season, because right now his route is predicated to stay inside, but he sees his quarterback escapes out. He ends up turning this around and breaks away from the receiver, and you guys will be able to see the end result of this play. As we let it play out, Bryce Young still stressed out, still stressing. Now, let me get the ball down the field to T-Mac, and for him to come away, as you guys will be able to see on this angle, as he's able to come up with this pass, this shows you his catch rate is, and it shows you just how versatile he is as a big receiver to get down low and come away with this pass. And that right there, to me, KB, changed the trajectory of this season, and it kept us in it. As you know, we could possibly have fallen to 1-4 at that point, but you know, we got things rolling.
Absolutely. Instead, they win 3 straight, and as we know, the season progresses to being NFC South champs. So you're absolutely right. I love that play. We're going to talk now about another pivotal play in the regular season matchup against the Rams right here at home. Derek Brown doing what Derek Brown was and icing the game for the Panthers against Matthew Stafford.
This is another game that a lot of people talked about on the outside, with the Panthers having the toughest schedule down the stretch. And it was partly because we were playing the #1 team every single week in the NFC. So Derek Brown had already made a huge play for us in the red zone, causing an interception. But right here, the game is on the line. They're almost in field goal position. Derek Brown does a great job of running this TE game with DJ Wanham and coming away with a huge sack fumble on this play, KB. This was one of those things right here where you like, all right, we need our playmakers to make a big play in a big-time game, and Derek Brown did just that for us. Game-changing play, because at the end of the day, we knew we had to have every single game down that stretch. And for DB to come up with this play was truly phenomenal, KB.
Pro Bowl play right there. Still should have been a Pro Bowler. I will continue to say that. Let's talk about, I know. Let's talk about our Pro Bowler, though, J.C. Horn. He had so many great plays, so many great interceptions. You could have picked any, but there is one that you love especially.
Listen, that was one that stood out to me like no other. And the reason why this play stood out so much to me, we're going to jump right into this film too. When you watch J.C. Horn on this play, the fans sitting at home, if you're watching this, you're like, okay, he's beat right now. He's not staying connected to the wide receiver. He's playing the ball in the air. His eyes are locked in on the football the entire way. And you'll be able to see it from a different angle that we have for you guys. But not only was he able to come up with this football, but to come away with this with a one-handed catch, it just shows you the versatility of this kid, and it shows you his ball skills. And that's one of the things you gotta love about J.C. Horn. In traffic, to come away with that play, and watch it from this angle right here. Let's freeze it. You'll be able to see on this play right here, as J.C. Horn gets ready to make this play, he's playing the ball in the air the entire time as if it's his.
He's making Dad very proud.
Literally.
Joe Horn, the receiver.
It's not about playing the receiver. He's playing the ball the entire way. Eyes are locked in on the football. He knows that he has a safety in the middle that's over the top, and I'm just going to do my job and get this ball back to my offense. That's why this was arguably probably my top play from the entire season.
So great to relive those. Some really, really incredible.
Can't wait to see how many more big plays we make this upcoming season.
That is right. All right, coming up, the Hall of Fame class will be announced soon. TD is going to tell you why that man right there, his longtime teammate, Luke Kuechly, should absolutely be a lock. That's coming up. Stay with us.
This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers television network is brought to you in part by Bank of America. the official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
Welcome back to the Huddle, everybody. TD, the Hall of Fame announcements are coming up at NFL Honors, and I think we were all shocked last year that our good buddy Luke Kuechly was not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but there is time for it to get fixed this year.
Listen, KB, one thing about it, you can never fix someone being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Once you make that mistake, they're going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's going to get in. He better get in, but Luke Kuechly is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No doubt about it.
I watched him play. I've watched other guys that have become first ballot Hall of Famers, and I know what it looks like. I got to watch him, the work that he's been able to put in on and off the field, the amount of energy and effort that he put into understanding the game of football and knowing what the other teams were going to do, getting all of his teammates lined up. That is a guy that should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I hope and I pray that without a doubt that these voters got this right this time. I mean, Luke Kuechly better be in the Hall of Fame, or they're going to see TD crash out this year. I'm telling you,
I completely agree. All right, before we go, what was the best thing about playing with him?
Man, just his energy that he brought to it, the competitiveness that he brought to it every single day. Every single day, KB, me and Luke worked to make each other better.
Yeah.
You know, he always had the opportunity to sit and stay extra hours and watch film because he didn't have a family, in particular like kids and a wife that he had to go home to. I would always get things from Luke that he was able to catch on film. So, man, just what he brought to the team was truly special, man.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will be back after the draft, but until then,
keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL.